What's going on, everybody? Small World Floyd here, back with another one. You are now watching YouTube with Floyd. Today, we're going to take a trip down to the arena, the Gills Arenas channel. We're talking about Joel Embiid and the 76ers cooled off the Boston Celtics. See Skip Bayless. See what's going on here.
John brisket. Both are smoked slow for up to 13 hours. Tender, juicy barbecue like this isn't magic, although there is a lot of smoke involved. Oof.
Arby's, we have the meat.
Doug Jr.'s mustache, is it real?
It's customizing your car insurance with Liberty Mutual and save it.
Home, the fourth quarter last night, 28-11, and as Josiah pointed, studying and covering the game, you guys played at the highest level. I have never seen a contending team that can go so cold when you least expect it as the Boston Celtics. It's just hard to fathom that they lost at home the fourth quarter last night, 28-11. And as Josiah pointed out, 3 of 22 in the fourth, missed their last 16. Jaylen Brown is 0 for 6, and Jason Tatum's only 0 for 2, only took 2 shots. And it's just incomprehensible how cold they go and stay over stretches of games. But the reason I think they were all but intimidated into the cold shooting was that guy who plays for the Sixers occasionally named Joel Embiid. I hear night after night about that alien in San Antonio. This guy has been the alien for the last decade when he feels like it. And some nights he goes back to whatever planet he came from, never to be seen. But Joel Embiid, to me, former MVP, is the biggest tease in the history of professional basketball, because when he is healthy and he feels like playing basketball.
Skip talking that talk right now, for sure. Yeah, Embiid is, man, he's incredible. If he was healthy, he probably would have went down as one of the greatest big men ever. He would have definitely won 2 championships already. He'd have had 2 chips already. Like, if he was healthy, he would have already won 2 championships for Philly. It just, he can't get right, man. He cannot get right, bro. But he is a monster, man. I just hate it for him that he's always hurt, bro. Because when he get on that court and he show you what he can do, there's nothing like it, man. Man, he is. Because he's big, he like Wemby, but he's big, he can move you down low, and he can go shoot the 3. See, Wemby ain't really moving nobody down low. He can jump over you down low because he don't really have to jump. But Embiid is moving you, like, get out the way. 2 points, fadeaways, 3s. Like, Embiid is a beast. If he could have stayed healthy, he would have went down as one of the greatest of all time. But I still, don't tell nobody, I still think they got a chance this year. If Embiid can turn into the Embiid we know, I think they're going to knock the Celtics out. Hey, I'm saying it. I think they're going to knock the Celtics out. And then we got to see if Embiid can stay healthy and keep going from there. Because Tatum is not all the way back for me. Like, you're dealing with a Jaylen Brown-led team who's really not ready to be the leader just yet. He can be. Then you got Derek White, who game has just fell off the face of this earth. I don't know what's going on with Derek White this year. Terrible. And then in the playoffs, Queta, however you say his name, Queta, he is not doing what he was doing in the regular season, like being real dominant down low. They picked up Vucevic. He's not bringing none of that Chicago Bulls energy there at all. Then you got Maxey on the other end. You got PG who's trying to prove something. You got the young kid VJ. Mom, boy, that boy gonna be a beast. And they all trying to prove something. So I think getting Embiid back made them that much more better than the Celtics. We gonna see. But I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is, and I'm gonna say the 76ers is gonna knock out the Celtics.
There is nothing better than him. And as Tyrese Maxey said after that game last night, in the second half, he was extremely dominant. when he feels like it and he's okay to play, against the Boston Celtics, he is the best player on the floor. You can have Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown or whoever you want on the other side. You can have Peyton Pritchard. But when he's right, they can't stop him. They can't touch him. They can only send him to the free throw line, where he is the greatest 7-foot free throw shooter I've ever seen. And I told you guys, I said right here on this couch, I was told the doctors in Philadelphia cleared him to play game 1 of this series, game 1. And if they left it up to him, and he said, not yet, after his appendectomy. Yet that surgery is now so easily done with the arthroscope, and you can bounce back fairly quickly from it. And I don't know what he was feeling or not feeling, but he didn't play games 1, 2, 3, and then he comes back in game 4, and I know they got blown out, but I looked at the numbers he put up out of nowhere coming back in game 4. He goes 26, 10, and 6 assists. Last night he had 8 assists. And in the second half last night, he just took over and played 39 minutes. And so it makes you wonder, well, could you have sucked it up and tried to play in game 1 or 2 or 3 and change this series? And yet, in the end, what's going to happen is they're going to go home and he's going to dominate again. That's what I believe. And it'll go back to Boston for a game 7. And all I know about Joel Embiid, former MVP, is he's 30-31 in playoff games he's played in. He's 0 for 5 in semifinals, having never lifted this team to even a conference final. And he is 0 for 3 in game 7s in his career. And we can get into them a little bit later, but every one of the game 7s he's played in are pretty much disasters for him. James Harden had a lot to do with a couple of them. But Joel, when you need him the most, he's often not there. And yet, when he feels like it, like last night, and what I think is going to happen in game 6, the Boston Celtics will be in trouble. But at home in a game 7, history screams that Joel Embiid will not be there for the 76ers.
So after that game, Embiid said, when he's playing at that level offensively, he doesn't think he can be stopped. Skip, like you mentioned, the injuries have stopped him and curtailed some of those playoff runs in years past. But Shaw, let's move on to you. Looking at Embiid, what he was able to do last night, put the team on his back, MVP level performance. What are your biggest takeaways from that Sixers game 5 win over the Celtics?
I've always said Joel Embiid, when he is on the floor and he is locked in and engaged, he's unstoppable. And that's why I kind of shifted towards Philly, seeing his emergence and his availability early on, and saving his body for the playoffs, was something that I was looking forward to. And I think that the other injuries kind of contributed to his unavailability for the first 3 games. But you look at game 4 and you analyze why it went bad. It went bad because Peyton Pritchard decided to show up.
He went crazy.
Yeah, he went crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that was something that took away from Joel, because you look at a lot of the shots that he was taking, a lot of the things that came into play after they were kind of trying to figure out how to get back on track after the game 2 win. And I think that the way that they looked in game 2, going into game 3, you can't keep that momentum without actually knowing that you can defeat this team playing that way. I think going into game 4, Joel coming in and disrupting that chemistry that they felt like they had was something that I think a lot of the people who are watching is saying, like, well, why did he come back? Why did you start him? Why couldn't he just kind of filter in? And I think the game that he played, like I said, Peyton Pritchard came in and made it look bad for the whole team based on the matchups. But then you see Peyton Pritchard last night, and he doesn't really show up in the same capacity. But guess who did show up in the same capacity? Joel Embiid. He was consistent through both games, but the difference was the second half, he did what Boston Celtics are very, very frightened of, is the post presence and the availability dominant in the paint. When you can be dominant in the paint, you got Vucevic and I can't remember Cater.
Yeah, I mean,
those two guys can't stop him.
Yeah.
Right? And when you know that as a player, you know that your matchup in this particular series is going to be, I need to dominate these two guys for us to win.
Joel Embiid is so strong. He was just moving Vucevic like that big move. He was just moving Vucevic, getting what he wanted. It was crazy. I was like, see, that's how good he is. That's how strong he is. You know what I'm saying? How old is Joel Embiid? Let me see. I think he's. Let me see. How old. He's 32. You know. That's not really like, oh, that's like in his prime. Like he got a chance at least the rest of this season and like 2 more seasons to really be who he is. So you get about age 35, and that's when the decline could happen. But if he can get the rest of this season, the playoffs, and then the next 2 years when he's just fully healthy, he can win 1 or 2 championships within that time frame. He just gotta stay healthy. That's it. He gotta play more through the season, man. But even though I kind of hate the season because it's kind of long and all the best players get hurt, when it's time for them to really play ball, like Kevin Durant, like, you know what I'm saying? You can't see the great product on the floor. Ant-Man, like, damn, we got to do something. We got to find out something, man, you can do for the 82-game season. Like, it's a lot of players on your team. 15-man roster. You got to be able to start being able to rest players in games that they show up that's under 500. Like, I think if, like, say, for instance, the 76ers was, like, 20-10, and then they face a Grizzlies team who's, like, 7-17, something like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that they should be able to rest most of the players. Like, why do I want to see the best 76ers play against a 7-17 team right now? Like, no. Rest your team under all 500. When they got an under 500 opponent, rest them. When they're playing somebody 500 and above, play them. That'll break down the season greatly, man. That'll put the best players on the floor. That'll get the other players a lot of rest. The hell with them awards and all that at the end of the season. Who cares about that, man? We're trying to win a championship. We want the ultimate award. So nobody cares about that award shit, man. Just rest players throughout the season. Take the qualitative approach so that we can see more better players in the playoffs. And plus, we want to see what these other kids can do during the regular season. Like, you got all these players on one team, 15-man roster. Let's see the rest of those guys. Let's see what they can do. We don't always have to have a star player on the floor when it's the Washington Wizards and you're 20-2 and they're like 3-14, like 3-15. Like, what do we want to see the best players play in that game for? Like, say that they're resting. It's okay. They don't need to play against this team. That's just how I do it if I was running things.
And Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum don't have a chance. Ain't no Derek White, ain't no Peyton Pritchard that can save the day. Especially when you got Paul George on the other side, Maxey on the other side, Edgecombe on the other side, Oubre on the other side, Grimes, who is one of the most unexpected talents that you could say, similar to a Cam Thomas, firepower like microwave Vinnie Johnson style, where you don't know when he's going to do it, but you know he's capable of it. You got that type of firepower with Philly, it's dangerous. And Boston plays a type of basketball that you expect. They're going to shoot a bunch of threes. They're going to have 2 dynamic players. But if those players get cold at any moment, it's over for them. They don't have any counterbalance other than a Peyton Pritchard, who is only going to feed off of those 2 guys giving him the green light. So with Joel Embiid showing up the way that he did, I love everything about his dominance and creating positional advantages over Vucevic, who definitely don't want to be down there in the mix. So he took advantage of that. And like you said, free throw wise, nobody shoots free throws like him. He got in his groove in the second half, and it was beautiful to watch. I'm taking him, if I had to, in game 6, to push it to 7. And I'm not going to say that they have a chance in game 7, but it goes for good entertainment. Good entertainment. Good entertainment.
This is blasphemous.
So, what is blasphemous about
Because I feel like we only talk about Boston when they're losing, when they lose. They won, we didn't hear nothing about
We didn't speak about Boston when they
speak
won.
about it yesterday. They lose, we talk about Boston. The thing with Boston that makes me mad, they play with their food too much. And they stick to the game plan. The game plan is shooting threes. And at the end of games, when things get ugly, I feel like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum don't know who's going to lead, who's the alpha. And that's where I think they mess up at a lot of time, man. When you stuck on sticking to the game plan, you continue to shoot threes, and them guys could do more, a lot more. And I think that's what happens when they shoot themselves out instead of trusting their talent. You know, Jason Tatum out there, he could do more than just step back threes. Jaylen Brown, I seen him dribble for 20 seconds yesterday toward the end, playing around with Quinn Grimes.
Quinn Grimes locking him up.
And this playoffs has been some corn like.
Did this nigga Nick Young just say Jaylen Brown was playing around? Nigga, that wasn't no playing around. That was Grimes, like, hella defense, plus hacking, though. But he was sticking deep. Jaylen Brown wasn't playing around. How did Nick Young really make it to the NBA? Was it just hype? Like, he really don't know what he's talking about. He get out there, man. He wasn't that great of a player. Like, you know, I think if Rashad McCants would have got more opportunity, like just as much as Nick Young got, Rashad McCants would have been way better, like, than he was. Like, Rashad McCants was like a beast. He talking about Grimes, but he really talking about himself, because that's how he was as well. He was one of those type players. Nick Young, he just never did it for me, man. I was like, man, he'll hit a three every now and again, but I'm like, he's just not it. Because he played with the same attitude that he talks with, that lazy play. Like, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't that great to me, man. He wasn't that good. Like, he was just okay, bro. And he's sitting up here saying stuff that don't even make sense. Like, bro, what are you talking about?
The other guys that stepped up and made.
You said it was a corner.
It was a corner playoffs, a corner new playoffs, and Quinn Grimes was one of the reasons I feel like they won yesterday. The energy changed, and they didn't picture the other day.
Yep.
So it's gonna take the others to step up for sure. I need a Derek White moment.
That I think is one of the biggest issues with that Celtics squad. Derek White averaging 8 points per game in this series, shooting
8 points per game.
8 points per game,
The same one you was vouching for.
30% from the field, 41% from three.
Trash. So it's time for him to step up and show the Olympian and all that. And I feel like it's time for that. But just Embiid, like Skip said, I was thinking the same thing. He was everything the alien could be. Like watching Alien, all the things he accomplished. I feel like Jalen Embiid could have done the same thing if helped.
I don't think it's good as a defender, but Embiid has made all defensive teams in his career, so he's
not the box, so he was good.
But Wemby ain't accomplished nothing, man. What you trying to take away from Joel Embiid for, bro? Wemby accomplished winning the Defensive Player of the Year award, bro. Like, Nick Young, please, man, let somebody else talk, bro, because he has not even. Now, this year, if you go all the way to the and win all, then you got it, man. Wemby's the man. But until then, bro, let's not put him in front of Embiid, bro. Embiid just got bad health.
He's 7'6", so it's different, but you haven't seen a big that could do everything on the offensive end, like shoot threes, post, dribble, dunk, athletic. And to say he's lazy, I don't think he had all that coming into the NBA. He was just a big, you know. I didn't see him shooting threes. I didn't see him ball handling like that. So I feel like he worked on it. For sure, he stays in the gym, but being hurt, it's nothing you can really do. You gotta take time off. And if he could have one of them Kawhi seasons like Kawhi had this year, before it's over, I feel like he'll see another MVP for sure.
For sure. I mean, starters, career injuries.
Tatum is the best on the floor right now. And Paul George is showing him he's the old version of him. So Paul George been playing very well too.
I mean, the Sixers' big three didn't get a lot, huge sample size of them this season or throughout their time together in Philly, but when healthy, it was obviously a big hit. If
the better team is Philly,
the better
on paper.
Like as far as players, the better team, but they don't put fear in people like OKC because they always like have a 20-point lead, and like with New York last year, how many times they was up that series and lost every game?
But here
Like
what
they
I'm
don't
saying.
never keep their foot on people's neck.
Hear what I'm saying? So the Magic, right? The Magic in Detroit. You wouldn't say that the Magic throughout the whole season was a better team than Detroit, right? Due to the
They
record.
were supposed to be.
Just due to the record. Even then.
I see where I see where he's going. Hopefully, I know where he's going. Yes, because the Magic, the roster wise, is better than Detroit Pistons. Period. Like they got so much talent over there, it's ridiculous. Like the emergence of Anthony Black, Suggs, if he could stay like a little bit more healthier. You got that Wagner could stay healthier. For me, I would be playing more Tease Wagner too. I like the brother, but I don't know what the coach thinking over there. I would definitely be playing him before I play Go. I don't know what's happening right there. I don't know how he gets more minutes than the other Wagner brother, but hey, I don't know what that coach seeing in practice to do that. And then you might as well give up some of Wendell Carter Jr. minutes too, because he just come and goes. Like one game he's good, and the next 2 games he's horrible. Like take some of his minutes away, bro. Like play the other Wagner brother, bro. And then you got who else is on that team that I like? I like De Silva. I think De Silva needs to get more opportunities, more shots. I would want him to take 12 to 15 shots a game. I'm just saying, I want him to like force the issue, try to break people down, do what you were doing in college. I need to see a little bit of that Colorado in you, bro. Let me see what you were doing when you were down there. I need to see a little bit more. Like I like his game, And Banchero, so when he on. You feel what I'm saying? So they got the better team to me than the Pistons. The Pistons let go of Jaden Ivey, and I thought that was just so stupid. I was like, why did they let go of Jaden Ivey? You could have got rid of Sasser. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of Sasser, man. Somebody would have definitely picked him up. He's a good, small, little slashing guard. And I kind of would have just showcased Jenkins for a little minute. Let some teams see how Jenkins is. I would have gave y'all both Jenkins and Sasser. But I'm not giving up Ivy. I'm not giving up Ivy at all. A big point guard that's fast like that, he's not going anywhere. And I think that kind of changed his career because he ended up going to the Bulls and then he started doing some other stuff that's got him out the league right now. It's like, but I think when he was in the Pistons, he wasn't doing all that. He was good where he was at. It was the letting go of him that kind of like released all that stuff he been talking about lately. So yeah, I definitely would have kept Jaden Ivey. That would have made them just. I couldn't wait to see Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey play a full season together. They never let them do that. They never even waited to see that. They just kept, one of them was hurt, then the other one was hurt. It's like, bro, let's not trade away. Let's see what they both can do at the same time. 2 giant guards like that. Nope, they didn't do it, bro. They didn't do it. So that's why I think they're just not that good. The Stewart don't really provide much. Stewart, he's like a Draymond Green, but he gives you that defense. But you got Jalen Durant, he's not providing anything like he was doing in the regular season. I guess it is right. It's harder to play in the playoffs because guys are like shrinking. Like damn, what was your game at from the regular season?
And you say they was 3 or 4 or 5, right?
Better team on paper.
So on paper, you look at the actual players and you say, this is our roster. I'm saying Philadelphia, which is why I would pick them over Boston on paper because of who they have and the possibilities and potential of what they can do on the floor. Maxey, Escone, Paul George, Kelly Oubre, Quinn Grimes, with a healthy Joel Embiid with the Drummond. But look, with the Drummond behind him, like, you got a good team. Now, you tell me the Boston Celtics team, right now, roster-wise, you only going to name 3, 4 guys. No. That you're going to be like, oh, these guys are good. They're going to show up against those guys. They'll play well. And really, only 3 of them are you going to be like, I can depend on these guys from the Boston Celtics to show up. The rest of the guys are variables.
No. Fabian Pritchard is
he's number 3. He's the 3rd.
You got Nick Vukovic, he's been an all-star.
He's been hurt half the time.
Right, that's an Olympian.
No way. 8 points a game.
That's good.
In the series. Who else? Kada? Who you depending on? Hauser? None of those guys are matching up to what I'm saying on this side.
Yeah.
They gotta find a better host though. Like this dude is not operating the floor right, bro, at all. Like giving niggas a minute or so to talk, then go back to Skip. Just change out the people, bro. He let Skip talk for a long time. Now he letting these two. It's just a bunch of like talking, bro. You gotta know how to organize the show better than that, bro. They're not learning nothing from First Take and Get Up and all of that. You gotta learn from the other shows when you're trying to create your own show. Cause Skip Bailey's just sitting there like, They done went a whole like 7-8 minutes without talking to Skip. It's like, bro, what are we doing? Like, get this show together, bro. Damn.
These are proven guys that we like. Hey, on paper they should beat them.
If you go player for player,
Player for player.
you got Tatum and Brown, but you got Embiid and Maxey.
That's what I'm saying. After that, you matching up who? Edgecombe and Pritchard.
You got PG and
PG and who? Hauser?
Yeah.
Derek White, right?
Tatum and Jalen Brown.
Is Maxey and Embiid.
But he's hurt though. You gotta add that.
Not hurt right now. He wasn't hurt last night.
He's how long? He played what? 30
He played
games.
two games. He played 2 games. The last 3 games he played. So don't base it on what
That's
we
what we basing it
No,
on.
we're not. We're talking about on paper right now. The roster's as configured right now. Player for player, Philly's the better team. But coaching-wise and what they've done, you have to give it to Boston because the pedigree, we've already won one. We have experience. We know how to play together. So you got to get an edge to Boston. But I'm just saying, talent for talent, the 76ers should be able to make it a 7-game series and make it something worth it.
But explain this to me, and to your point about blasphemy, talking about Boston. You've got 2 first-team All-NBA kind of players as your alphas. You have a 13-point lead at home in a closeout game. And this is early third quarter. One of the alphas has to say, that's enough of that. I got this. And yet, the catalyst for this team, the detonator that they wait on, especially at home, is a little 6-foot white guy. Little white guy built like a fullback.
New age Caucasian, Skip. New age Caucasian. Most black and mild shoots dice.
Okay, but still, does he look like a basketball player to you? Because he doesn't look like one to me.
He's a 6-foot Nick
Right?
Young, man.
Hey,
That's white Nick Young, man.
okay, but he's stout. He's built like a fire plug, you know, and he just doesn't look basketball-y to me. He looks like a football player. And yet, they just wait on him to detonate the home crowd the way he took Philly's crowd out of it in the previous game when he makes 6 threes at Philadelphia for 32 points. And last night, he goes 1 of 4 from 3, and the crowd's just like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because if he just makes a couple in a row, the roof blows off that place, and the visiting team is in big trouble.
Yeah.
And last night, he couldn't. And then in the fourth quarter, this is incomprehensible that you have Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, who a lot of people were pushing for MVP this year up until Jason Tatum came back. And you got not one of you two, or Peyton Pritchard, or somebody, Derek White, who I have a lot of respect. He's got credentials, man, because even in San Antonio, he had credentials. And now he's in the worst slump of his life, because I looked at the last 6 games, he's 9 of 41 from 3, so he just can't buy one, and he couldn't buy one last night, and you can just see in his eyes, like, you guys really want me to shoot? They had a corner 3 that could have turned it late.
Yeah, he hesitated.
Yeah, like, I missed it badly. Well, then, how can you allow that to happen? This is a closeout game, and I just sat there in awe watching it, saying, one of you two, you're not going to show in the fourth quarter? Because Tatum took 2 shots in the fourth quarter.
I said they argue who teams is it, and when it get ugly, that's why I feel they mess up at.
So let's talk about the Celtics squad. Celtics are averaging nearly 47 three-point attempts per game this postseason. So in their 3 wins, shooting 42% from distance, but just 27% in their 2 losses, with 11 for 39 in Game 5.
It's live by the 3, die by the 3.
They stick to that plan.
And I like what you said about that. When you stick to the plan, you see, it's brilliant in a way what you're saying, because when you say stick to the plan, a lot of the fans don't understand when the coach has the game plan and you're like, let's stick to it, but it's not working, right?
Not working.
And now you're like, well, what do we do? Because as the alphas, you're supposed to take the wheel and let me drive this ship the way I feel like it should go, and coach give me the freedom to do that, right?
Sure.
But then it's so much of trust the game plan, trust that we're going to make 3s eventually, and like you said, they got cold, right, between the 2 stars, and now we're looking for the detonator. He's also cold
He's
too.
cold.
And now we don't have any confidence with Derek White. He's super cold. Now we did get one good three from Hauser. It was a deep three. It was like, okay, woo. But that's not enough. Vucevic is not hitting the threes. You don't got Shireman coming out there doing the things that he was doing early season. So it's really kind of like, well,
there's no plan B to it.
there's no plan B. There's no plan B. That's what I said about sticking to the plan.
Like, if you have two all-stars, then one of them says, I'm cold tonight from distance, so I'm just going to put my head down, I'm going to take it to the rack, I'm going to get to the free throw line, but they don't plan B it, they just keep jacking threes.
Yep. And there's no real drive and kick scenarios for them.
Yeah.
It's drive and try to get a bucket for both of them.
Yeah.
And then that's when you see Quentin Grimes playing defense and like cutting them off. It's like you had the ball for 20 seconds, JD.
Shot it at the free throw line.
And then you're trying. That's not the flow that they used to. And I think that's the difference where you say follow the game plan. They're doing too much of that at some point, especially in the fourth quarter.
And when a game's like that,
Close out though and think about it. Think about how they're not really tripping.
that's why I was saying, like, they're playing around.
They're playing around. They're like, we'll get the next one. It's cool.
The math suggests the Celtics can do that in 4 or 7 games, right? If they can be hot from 3, then they can win a series. But does it feel like they're starting to play with fire a little bit?
Well, I need
Lying
to
on that
see
long distance shot.
when they was playing against Dallas in the championship. Jaylen Brown like that, picking up full court, doing those type of things like that. That fire, but that Boston, I feel like nobody could beat that team right there.
Well, you got to look. Jaylen Brown had a whole different incentive of not having to pick up the slack.
Yeah, 30 points a game.
Right. He literally like, I'm going to do this. I got Drew over here. We got Porzingis over here. We got guys who can pick up the slack. But now you lose that, and you depending on 2 other guys who is Pritchard and Derek White, who's not Porzingis and Drew Holiday, that you're like, do I trust them? No, I got to pick up the slack. And I think he kind of gets tired after a while. He's kind of burnt out at this point. He has to stop this guy and come over here.
It's hard to pick up somebody full court and then try to get 30.
Man, different type of conditioning, man.
In the finals, Luka shot 22% from 3, in large part because of Jaylen Brown. Yeah.
It's going to be different, but I actually like Philly pushing them to 7. I would hope that would be the scenario for the series.
See, one thing I don't like is these guys don't have no confidence in their talk, bro. I'm not just saying Philly gonna push them to 7. I'm saying Philly gonna win. And that is what it is, man. It's your boy, Small World Floyd. We went down to check out the arena. Gil's Arenas channel. Got to hear some talk, man. Some good hoop talk from some actual basketball players. I like that. Need more shows like it. But yeah, I'm picking Philly to get it done. And I'm out, man. Till the next one, I'll see you then. Peace.